So I want to ask our friends who will follow with their speeches. We will not be on time, but I want to ask them to be as short as possible. The first one to take the floor will be Fabio Brescacin. So now we're going to move to an Italian example. Fabio Brescacin is the president of Ecor Natura Sì, a group commercializing, trading. But the thing that we care of is that this group started from the agriculture experience. I was quoting the Divaya before from Molise, with an engagement with the agricultural world. And we know there is an engagement in increasing the surface cultivated with biodynamic agriculture, from which products come and then are distributed in Italian houses. Fabio will talk about something important: the relationship between those producing and those using products, and this relationship, this link, if it were an healthy one, it would be a virtuous one. I'm gonna leave the floor to Fabio anyway.
Buongiorno. Cercherò di fare velocissimo.
I'll try to be as quick as possible. Good morning, good afternoon, actually. From my point of view, we are in a magic moment. We're living a magic moment because of from three points of view. First, we have 100 years experience of biodynamic. Today we can say that in Italy as well, we are able to do biodynamic agriculture. We can have an healthy agriculture here. We have wonderful examples of agriculture. Secondly, we are living a magical moment, because never before there was a sensitivity from consumers and culture and the society, generally speaking, to this word. We are understanding what an healthy food is, what an healthy soil is, what taking care of the landscape is, and what agriculture is. And third, magic moment is because agriculture is at its end. In these months, we have been continuously asked by great farmers, traditional farmers, saying, we are at the end of agriculture. We are at the end of it. And this is because it has deep origins. But one of the reasons lays in the economic difficulty, which cannot be overcome. They say we cannot go on like this. This last year has been very important. The liberalization of milk shares has dropped the price of milk. Today, the price of milk is between 30 and 35 cents. And even good farmers, chemically good, and they do their best, but they can't go on this way. So they see their chance of survival in conversion to biodynamics and organic farming. But it's a future, not just economic future, but also moral future. But for this to happen, we need three main things. They rotate around one element, which is money. And I want to thank Uli for this morning for talking about this. It's money. Money is the element. So today we are dominated by money, and instead we should dominate money. Money is extremely important. Money can be life, can be death, but it must and can be life. Rudolf Steiner gives us a wonderful indication how to read money. We have to learn, I believe, to learn from Rudolf Steiner what he taught us, not just in the agricultural field, but also in the social and economical field. And money has three forms. Early said it this morning. First, money that we use to buy goods. Today, we are in a situation where money and the price of goods and agricultural goods is very low, is extremely low. And Steiner says, and this is the truth, the price is the central element of economy. Price is fundamental. A fair price can allow a company to live, and the wrong price instead might determine its death. So, can we reach a fair price in agriculture? Is it possible to have a fair, right price? Today we do not have right, fair prices. We complain, but actually, agricultural prices are 8 cents. 8 cents was the price of tomatoes last summer in Apulia. 35 cents for milk, and so on for bread and wheat. The question is, can we get out of this mechanism, perverse mechanism of market? Actually, we are all victims of the same market. Producers are victims, traders are victims. They're also obliged to buy products and by consumers as well. And consumers are the third victim of the market. Can we get out of the market is the question? Yes, we can and we must. We have the tools to do that. And what are these tools? And now Steiner helps us, not because he said it, but because this is the truth. Steiner, in his economy classes, starts from a key word, a key indication, and he talks about associations. We can call them how we want. We can call them communities, associations, but in communities, in small and large communities, we can and we must overcome the problem of market price. So we must create associations, communities in between producers, traders, consumers, where one of the elements is the right price, the fair price. We are all selfish. That's normal. This is part of our evolutionary path. But when we meet, when we understand the other, and in economy, when we understand the importance of the other, because we cannot exist without the other. The consumers cannot exist without producers or traders, and vice versa. We are interlinked, we depend from one another. So when we meet, we develop a lack of selfishness. Economy is a practice of altruism. We work for one another, we're all interlinked, interconnected. So in the association we can create the fair, the right price, being aware of all of that. But this fair, right price is not a global price. Today we have global prices. The milk price is milk price. There are differences, but global market creates one global price. But just like companies are different, the prices should be different as well. The wheat produced by Uli shouldn't have the same prices of the Divaya or Orsine because they are grown in different conditions with their different qualities. They are in different economic conditions. So the first point is reaching a fair price. And I go on. So where are we in Italy? I believe that we made a good job in these years, but we need to do an extra step. In Italy, there's a group of farmers that are great. Very good farmers who developed a wonderful agriculture. We have good traders and shoppers that are not selfish. They signed last year, 300 of them signed an agreement for the land where they engage themselves to only buy the programmed products regardless of the market. So they engage themselves in buying specific products. So what is missing? The link with consumers. Consumers today are not aware of what the fair price is. And what we should do this year, next month, is explaining to consumers what the right price is, what the fair price is. Many consumers do not want the producer of tomato in Puglia to die because the tomato price is 5 cents. There are many consumers who do not want milk to have a price of 30, 35 cents per liter. But they must be made aware, because the one paying is not the trader. The one paying is the consumer. The others are just transactions. The real moment, the moment where price is created, the price awareness is created, is when the product comes to the consumer's hands. So we must act so that consumers become aware. There are many more consumers that are getting aware of the importance of the fair price. Without a fair price, we will not save any farm. Second point, is the fair price enough? No, it's not enough. Why not? Because as Uli was saying this morning, agriculture is unlucky. It requires time. Time. The bread we eat today is made with wheat that was planted 18 months ago. The apples we eat today are produced by a tree that has been planted 3, 4, 5 years ago. The milk we drink today is made by a herd that it took us 10 to 20 years to create. So, if I make a dress today, on theory, tomorrow I can sell it. Today, to have 1 kilo of bread, I need someone to think about this 1 year and a half ago. So, agriculture has a deficit by nature. So, what do you need? We need financial money. This is what we said this morning. Personally, I'm not convinced that the impact investing with a 5% rate is the right finance. Why? Because funds, investment funds, they reason like funds. It's money driving there. It's money thinking. It's money deciding. But actually, it must be individuals deciding, aware individuals deciding to use a portion of their money that they don't need to buy, to use it as a lending capital. So, we're working at a fund, we need a fund, but starting from the point that we're not talking about yield. We are talking about the small profit, yield, returns from this money. The money must keep its value. 1% would be good already. It would be the right remuneration. That funds life. Someone who can produce. Because if I want to have bread tomorrow, I must plant my seeds today. If I want to have food tomorrow, I must think about it today, and I must finance it today. Third point. Is this enough? No, unfortunately it's not. It's not enough. Why not? Because this requires two things. First, that someone produces, and that we have the land to produce. If I have bread today, it means that someone did it yesterday. I can pay it to someone who produced it. If I had to finance someone, to fund someone, I need someone to be able to work. If I want to look at the future, I must think about these two elements. How can I create? How can I support? How can I support someone who will be able to farm in the future? So research, education, training. And to do what? What do I need? A different kind of money. It's not purchasing money. I cannot purchase education. I will not lend money to my children so that they go to school learning such or such thing. This is the gift money. This is what Steiner would call gift money. Money that I don't need to make a purchase, money that I do not need to lend, money that I will not need tomorrow. This is the money I can use for future. This is the money looking at the future, considering that in the future we will not live of money, but in the future I can have all the money I want, but if nobody's raises cattle, if nobody works the land, if nobody works in a hospital, I cannot do anything with this money. And this is the third form of money. This is the future oriented money, and it is the gift money. This is the form of money we have to work on. We are working on a agricultural fund because this is money looking at the future. The third element, and I'm not gonna get into the detail, is land property. Who does the land belong to? The land is not a good. There is a book, apparent goods. Land cannot be sold nor purchased. So this is another form of money, freeing land from property. And if we want to have a fair land to manage in the future, we have to think like Terre des Lions did. Today we have many farmers that are in despair in Italy that would give us their land because they don't know what to do with that land. So the first task we have is to have purchasing money and financial money to support farms in the future. Thank you. Thank you, Fabio.
Words are a precious contribution, and your contribution is very important in the framework of our conferences and meetings as well, because you support us and you help us move our economy more than anything else. So this is a really important commitment that you help us with. So thank you very much. I believe there's a problem with the financial value of money that is a disease that's destroying our human life. The return rates that should make us richer have no real basis whatsoever, because they are built on money that does not exist, that has no value. This is how finance works.